Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 1:51 a.m. on Saturday evening, going into Sunday. How are you guys doing this evening? I was just turning around, getting myself situated. I was talking to my friend Valerie on the phone, getting myself situated to vlog. I have my leftover pumpkin spice coffee from brunch today. And then I also have a water. And I was talking to Tanya today on the phone, and I got my new lip gloss from Lunar Beauty. And this is like, I had to try a different color because they were completely out of Celine, which I was not happy. I was bitter. I was not happy about. This color is called, let me tell you, if I can read it. I can't even see what it's called. It says Mood on it. Or Moon. Moon? Is that what it's called? But this is the color of it, okay? Well, online, I bought 3 of them just because I wanted some lip gloss. I was like, this isn't bad at all, right? So this is actually would be, I've only put it on once, and I was on the phone with Tanya when I put it on, and she was like, oh good, I get it then. I was like, Tanya, no, it was $18 a tube of lip gloss. And she's like, well, you just said you don't really like it. So, okay, I got it, and I put it on, and it really looks like you have to hear it's better like this, like a beigey lip gloss, okay? It just, like the Celine is kind of like a clear lip gloss. I mean, it still has a tint to it, but like the tint isn't that strong. You guys look at this. This is like, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looks like, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's like, it looks like lipstick. I'm like, I don't love it. And Tanya's like so excited. I'm still gonna use it and put it on while I'm like vlogging and stuff, you know? But when I took it off, here, I'll see if I have, do I have like a Kleenex or something in this car? Let me see if I have a receipt or something. The receipt, Whitney. Oh, I should have something in here to put it on. You guys can totally see how, I literally do not have one receipt or anything because I keep my car so clean. I have cough drops over here, and that's it, and fans. I have all these fans on the side of my car. Somebody sent me this from the Bahamas. Isn't this so pretty? It says Bahamas on it. I literally don't have anything in the car to, oh, I thought I might have a receipt in this. No, oh God, I totally forgot that I bought these, what do you call them? What are they? Classic crumb cake and coffee streusel cake to review, and then I never did. Anyway, do I have anything back here? So like, no, I don't have anything in this card. Oh shoot! I am like constantly cutting myself anymore. What was that? All of my fans. This is the stuff I bought to make my own lip gloss. Here, I'll show you, look. Can you guys see, can you see that? Like, look at that. Yeah, it's like very beige. It's like a very kind of like a beige color. Oh well, I don't know what's back there. So anyway, I have a couple bags back there. Woo! What a day. It's been a long day. Yeah, I've been on the phone with Val. How long was I on the phone with her? We talked for a long time on the phone. Valerini! You kept me on the phone for a long time. Let's see. I'll probably call her back by accident. I guess we didn't talk that long, about a half an hour. We talked about 25 minutes. I lost her at one point. She had to call me back. So, I felt like we talked longer than that on the phone. But anyway, I got up today and Alex was off work. First of all, I just have to tell you, okay, I'm gonna tell the story in just a second, but while I'm stopped here, I just wanna show you this. Well, I'll turn this off so you can see with the lights. I bought, you guys, today, everybody was making fun of me about this on my drama channel, but I bought a pair of like the blue Croc, or the Crocs that have the furry liner in them. You guys, they're so hideous and ugly, I know, but they are so comfortable. Like, they're the perfect shoe for me to go get a fountain pop with Tanya Jean, or drive around and vlog and listen to my audiobook. So anyway, I need gas, and this is the gas station that I usually go to get gas at, like while I'm listening to my audiobook or vlogging, but I'm gonna come back here. Do like a circle and come back, and then I'll fill up my tank. Anyway, I'm not gonna vlog for a long time tonight. I made 5 videos today, and honestly, I'm like starting to like kind of like my throat is starting to kind of fade. I'm like, oh, I've been talking so much today. And then I've talked on the phone a lot today too. So I got up and, oh shoot, I meant to call Mel back. I had texted Mel earlier and she was working. And then she texted me when she got off work, and I said that I was uploading videos on my phone and then I would call her back. So, and I totally forgot to call her back. So yeah, so, okay, last night, after I got done vlogging, I started, why do I keep on feeling like I vlogged early on certain nights? Well, I don't know what time I vlogged last night, but anyway, last night I started listening to Broken Girls by Monn St. James, and she's the one that wrote The Sundown Motel that was in my top 15 books last year. I loved it, it was fantastic. So somebody on my booktube video, because I did my top 15 books of 2020, somebody said if you liked The Sundown Motel, you're gonna love Broken Girls, which was her book that she wrote previously, her previous novel. So I downloaded that on Audible yesterday, and then I also downloaded, I think I said this yesterday, I downloaded like 5 books, and then I also downloaded The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, who wrote The Guest List. So I was like, I'm gonna listen to Broken Girls, because I had the night before finished the last, what do you call it? I feel like when I was vlogging, I said I had just started the book. I feel like I had said I had just started the book or something last night. So anyway, because I was like 20 or 30 minutes into it, and then I listened to it later. Well, I ended up listening to like more than half of the book. You guys, the book it's like 11 hours and 12 minutes long on Audible. Did I cut myself? Like I can feel it on my finger, but I don't see any blood or a cut. It is so good and so spooky. Monn St. James is a fantastic writer, and she goes back and forth between different eras, and this one is about this girls' school, this boarding school called Idlewild. Oh, I talked about it on here last night, didn't I? Didn't I? Or was that in my booktube video? I don't remember, but anyway, it's really good, and I got like halfway through it, and I haven't listened to any more of it today, but I'm going to as soon as I get done vlogging, and I really want to listen to more of it, if not finish it tonight. And it got very spooky last night. It's a really good mystery. Parts of it kind of remind me of like Lois Duncan a little bit, who wrote like I Know What You Did Last Summer, and those if you ever read those, what was the one that they turned into Mrs. Tingle, but it was really like Mr. Griffin or something, Killing Mr. Griffin, I think is what it was called. And then like The Long Dark Hallway, and They Never Came Back. And she wrote like all of these like the middle grade, teenage like mysteries that were very like paranormal or spooky, like in the 70s. And a couple of them were made into movies, and like in the late 90s or the mid to late 90s. And I loved them. And so I've read a bunch of her stuff, but it kind of reminds me of that, kind of, but it's more developed than that. And so it jumps back and forth between 1950, when these girls are in this boarding school, and they're like troubled girls, or their parents sent them away because they couldn't handle a certain situation with them or whatever. They're not like all like troubled, but some of them are like just rebellious and whatever. And so they're all in this boarding school, and it's about these like 4 or 5 girls that are in this one room together. And then well, I can't say that because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but, and then it goes to this girl who, this woman who is a reporter, and her sister was found dead on the campus of Idlewild Hall, I think is what it's called, like 20 years before. And like that would be like 94 or something. So it takes place like 1950, 94, and like 2014, and it flips back and forth really between 2014 and 1950, which is interesting because in the Sundown Hotel, Simone St. James flips back and forth between present day and like the 70s, like the late 70s, and like the whole like Manson era kind of. Well, that was maybe more like, was that early 70s? I don't know when that was, but anyway, it's really good, you guys. I'm like, I just love it. It's really, really good. It's very spooky. There's paranormal to it, but like Sundown Motel, it's like the mystery and the like the detective investigation of the mystery is like the overriding factor of the book, and then the paranormal takes kind of like a secondary character, is like kind of, you know, backstage to that. It's really good, you guys. Like really, really good. So I'm reading that. And then I was going to, when I finished it, read the next Misfortune book, but I actually think I'm going to read this book called Saint X by Alexa Shakelin. So I've announced on my Instagram, and I've talked about it over here, that I wanted to start my own book club, so I started it today. It's official, Peter's Book Club. I had Peter's Book Club before, which is what morphed into a true crime book club. And yes, a true crime book club still exists. It's very, very active. This is completely separate. This is just, I'm picking a book a month, and if people want to read it along with me, they can. It's not serious. It's literally just like Oprah's book club kind of thing, where I pick a book every month that we read together as a group. And so I picked Saint X, which is about, it's this girl's telling of her family going to the Caribbean when she's 7, and her 18-year-old sister is murdered, and 2 people that are work at the resort are found responsible for it. And then flashes forward to when she's like an adult in New York City, and she comes into contact with somebody that was accused of the murder. And it's really about, it's been compared to like a true crime kind of book, like part true crime, part her delving into trying to find out or discovering who her sister was, because she never really knew her sister. And it was compared on the back of the book to Emma Cline's The Girls, which I loved that book. So check out my Instagram if you would like to read along. So anyway, I woke up today, and Alex was off work, and he was like, what do you want to do? And he was in great mood, and I was in a better mood today than I've been in a long time the last couple days. I've just woken up and been so kind of like just blah, and I don't even know that I want to say sad, just blah. You know, I've said sad, but I don't know if it's really sad that I'm feeling, if it's just kind of like melancholy because the weather is just so gray and stuff. So I said, I think that I need a gluten-free waffle from Cafe Patachou. We usually go on Sundays. So we went there today, and I had the gluten-free waffle with potatoes on the side, which I didn't even hardly eat all the potatoes. I couldn't even really finish eating a lot of what I ate. And then I had fruit, a bowl of fruit too, because it comes with a cup of fruit, which was so good. It was like strawberries and blueberries and pineapple. And Alex, of course, had his Cuban breakfast. I don't think he had chili today. I don't remember him having chili. Then we had coffee, and they had pumpkin spice, and I got it. It's a little intense. This pumpkin, well, it's cold now, but this pumpkin spice is a little intense. I thought it was kind of weird that they had pumpkin spice. I said, that's very Halloween in January. That's what I said to our waitress. She was so sweet. But anyway, and then afterwards, so I've had all these problems trying to order my Warby Parker glasses. And there's actually a Warby Parker store at the Keystone Mall right there, which is like the really nice mall here in town. And Alex had gone in there to order his glasses, and it was real smooth. Like, so, but he wanted to take them in there because they weren't fitting him right. So I was like, and I had just told them to cancel my order. So I emailed, okay, after they sent me all this stuff that basically I had already filled out already, and then there was other stuff I had to do, pupillary distance, which I don't know why that wasn't on there and stuff. Anyway, I just was very confused by the whole thing. So I said, I sent them an email back, and I was like, just please cancel my order, thank you. And they didn't even respond and say your order is canceled or anything. I was surprised by it. So I went in there with Alex, and I was just gonna order some glasses while I was in there, the same ones. I wanted these Carlton ones that are like clear, and I knew which ones I wanted, so I was like, well, I'll just, have him look at my order and see if we can fix it while I'm in there. So there was like a 20-minute wait, I think. It was maybe a little bit longer than that, 20 to 30-minute wait, because they were only letting 2 people in the store, like, 2 groups of people in the store at a time. So they took our number to text, they took Alex's number to text him back, and we walked down to Nordstrom, which is where I bought my Crocs. My husband made fun of me and said that they're the ugliest shoes ever. And, but I don't care because they're so comfortable. And I wonder what this is going to be. They're building this like huge thing. It looks like it could either be a grocery store or like a doctor's office, or I don't know what it is. It's going to be like a little surgery center in there or something. I don't know. And then, what was I saying? I totally forgot. I lost my mind. So yeah, I bought these, and then we walked around, we looked at stuff. Alex looked at a coat. I guess he has like $200 worth of gift cards from Nordstrom. So Alex looked around at like the top man stuff from Nordstrom. He tried on this coat. It was really cute. It was like this kind of like make of a, well, kind of like a make. It was kind of a takeoff on like a biker jacket, but it was gray. It was really cool, and it was like, it kind of like the zipper went up like this, and but it was like $170, and he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get it today. But then when we were leaving, he was like, I said, that would have been a nice coat for you for winter, because he hasn't gotten a new coat in a couple years. And he was like, I think the last time he got a new coat was actually, we bought these matching Columbia coats at the Columbia outlet in Edinburgh a couple years ago. He's like, yeah, I don't really want to spend $170 on it. I said, I totally understand. And he was like, but I found, he said, I have almost $200 in gift cards to Nordstrom, and like some of his like different people that he contracts with, like they give him gift cards at Christmas and stuff, And so he always gets Nordstrom gift cards. I don't know why, but and then Carlos and Liliana gave us Nordstrom gift cards too. And you know what? Like, I didn't have mine with me today, and I didn't even think about it. And Alex is like, you could have used their gift card that they gave you for those Crocs. And I was like, damn it, I totally forgot about that. So he was like, he goes, I found 2 pairs of Nikes that I like, and they're each like 70 or 90 each. And so he's like, I'm gonna get 2 pairs of them. I'm thinking, because what we need is more sneakers, Alex. But he's like, whatever. So then Sarah's birthday is this weekend, so they were going over to a friend of theirs house to play games with like another couple, with like this friend of theirs from high school and her husband. And Alex asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, I mean, I kind of wanted to go, but like I wanted to film videos too, and they were literally leaving like in an hour from when we got home, and I was like, there's just no way. And I was like, you go. And so he was like, okay. They're still there. They left our house at like, we didn't get back to our house until like late, till like 6:30 today, 6 or 6:30, after feeding the dogs and taking them out and doing all that kind of stuff. He left about 6:30, so he's FaceTimed me a couple times tonight. Then I filmed a bunch of videos, and I got really, really hungry at like 9 o'clock, and I made 2 cheese sandwiches. I made one, and I was watching, like, I was like, you haven't turned on the TV, you haven't done anything, like, you need to relax for a couple minutes, because I was just like, go, 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 getting all this stuff done. Oh, I know what took us some time. Alex took a picture and did an Instagram video for this, like, Doritos thing that he got, like, this collaboration. And so, I was like, well, would you help me take this picture for my book club? Which is part of the reason why I hadn't posted it yet. I had the book picked out, like, a week ago. But part of why I hadn't posted it yet was because I didn't, like, I wanted to make the picture look really nice. So, I actually, now if you go over to my Instagram, okay, there's a picture over there of, like, it all set up on this tray. I did that. I was the very Martha Stewart. I was very proud of myself. I was like, okay, now I can be, like, a Martha Stewart bookstagrammer of the world, making things look pretty. But anyway, yeah, I did that over there. So then, what was I gonna say? And then he FaceTimed me, and they were just sitting around. They weren't even playing games yet. I guess later they were playing that meme game. What's that? What do you meme? So I played that. Where did I play that? I played that with somebody. I can't remember who. What do you meme? Because I kept on saying that. Oh, we played it at Caroline's house on Christmas Eve. And I kept on going, hey, Caroline, can I ask you a question? She's like, yeah, what? And I'm like, what do you meme? I don't love that game. I don't think it's a lot of fun. But anyway, it's where you like put like a popular meme, and then whoever comes up with like the best like tagline underneath it, like that they pick, is like you get the card, and then whoever gets the most cards wins. It's kind of corny, but anyway, I love that Jack game that you play on the TV screen. That's my favorite. I love that. They may have played that later because Alex, so then I laid down. I texted him and I said, babe, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. I'm super tired. I'm gonna lay down with the dogs. And I laid down at like, it was like 10 to 11, and I set my alarm for 12:30, and he was like, okay. And then he FaceTimed me at like 12:30, and I wonder if they were playing that game, because I don't know why, I just had like a gut feeling that they were playing that game. He knows I love that game. And but then when I texted him back, they were in the middle of something, so yeah, and now I'm vlogging. Cheers. Here's my coffee, my cold coffee. So I had a very, very full day today. Oh, and you know what? Somebody just texted me, and it looks like it's my husband. Oh, he's calling me. Let me call you right back. Or let me be right back. I'll be right back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Oh, they're sitting around playing games. I don't know how people sit around for that long. Like, I do not, like, I mean, they've been over there since like 7 o'clock. I'm like, and they're just completely fine, just sitting there talking. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? He's like, we were playing games, and now we're just kind of sitting here just talking and stuff. And I'm like, for like 7 hours? Like, how do you do that? Like, I don't understand that. I can be by myself for 7 hours, but I don't know about all that. I can't do all that. I can do it like, you know, when Alex and I first got together, we would spend like holidays with his family and stuff, you know, on Christmas Eve and then going into Christmas Day. You know, we would get over there at like 7 or 8 in the evening on Christmas Eve. And so Alex's family's Christmas, like their Christmas is always on Christmas Eve. Like they don't do anything on Christmas Day. Like the celebration is Christmas Eve. So they have their big dinner on Christmas Eve, and then they do the unwrapping of the presents at midnight. Santa comes at midnight and flies over to the house and drops all the presents. And I didn't know any of this. Like, we went into it, like, Alex didn't, like, inform me of all of this, right? Although I do remember, it was like, it was the year that Carlos and Liliana moved here. Because, like, everybody was together. Alex's grandma was there, the cousins were there, like, everybody was there on Christmas, and it was so fun. And I can remember, it was like, I think it had snowed just a little bit, and, I mean, it wasn't a lot, but it was a little bit, I feel like, and I didn't know, like, this couldn't have been too long ago, because Carlitos is 8 now, and at the time, probably 4 years ago, I would say. It was probably 4, because I can remember, like, so when Santa Claus flies over the house, like, all of the, like, the bells go off, right? And, so, like, the doorbell is like, goes off like crazy, right? So, we, like, all went to the front door, and there were presents, like, all over the front yard, and it was so cool. And I remember I looked over at Alex, and Alex was just, like, bawling, and I was like, are you okay? And he was like, yeah. He was like, this is just the first time I've been able to spend Christmas with my whole family in, like, a long time, you know? And, it was so cool. But, like, the first Christmas that we did it all together, like, spent Christmas all together, I can remember, I don't know if it was the first, I think we did spend that first Christmas together, like, with both of our families. I'm almost positive that we did. And, because I can remember, so, yeah, because Maya lived here at the time, and she stayed over, and, Alex's cousin Maya, who lives in Las Vegas, and, everybody, I can remember, so we got there at, like, and Fufu was in high school at the time, and we got there at, like, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Like, we went out to dinner with my aunt and Caroline and, you know, everybody. I don't know where we went to dinner, probably Fleming's, and like at 4:30 or 5. And so we got over there at like 6 or 7, 6:30 or 7, right? And then we had like dinner at like 9 o'clock. Like, they have dinner late, and they have like, they do like the ham bread and, oh, what's this stuff that they wrap? You guys, somebody in the comment section below that's like from Venezuela or knows, it's like specific to Venezuela for Christmas. And they wrap this thing. God, why can't I think of what it's called? Last year, Liliana got me vegetarian ones, and it was so nice of her to do it, but like, it was just like corn inside, and it was just very plain. But it's like a holiday tradition that you eat. Anyway, Alex's aunt can make them, but now there's like 3 or 4 people around that they know that like they make like hundreds of them, and then you order them from them here in Indianapolis. But there's like all this stuff, then plantains. His aunt makes the most amazing plantains, and so it was like this big dinner that they had at like 9 o'clock, and then the dinner goes to like 10:30 with everybody sitting there and, you know, whatever. And then that kind of goes into dessert. And then, like I said, Santa Claus comes at 12. And then after Santa Claus is like gone, and like the kids, you know, bringing all the presents from the yard because Santa Claus just dropped some in the yard, then everybody goes and like, then everybody unwraps their presents. So then that's like midnight to, let's say, 1:30, everybody unwraps presents, and then the music starts. It's always very loud, and there's always somebody dancing in the corner, you know, people are drinking, people are playing music. It's really fun, honestly. It's very, very, like, it's a celebration. Like, I will say this, I don't know what it's like in other, you know, Latin American countries or South American countries, but like from my experience, and this is what Alex and his family have said, that this is what Christmas is like in Venezuela. It is a celebration of Jesus' birth. So it's like a really, really exuberant celebration. It's not just like, let's sit around and play Silent Night and wear our nicest clothes. It's like a celebration. And even the Christmas music that they play does not sound like Christmas music to me. It sounds like Latina dance music to me. Not dance like being in a club dance music, but like fun, happy, joyous music, you know? They would go and spend Christmas on the beach when Alex was growing up in Venezuela. So anyway, there was one year, I don't remember what it is, may have talked about this on here before, but like, I literally thought we were like ready to go, and I like walked upstairs, and Alex and Maya and Fufu, or maybe they had like started watching Hellraiser. And I came in the room, not Hellraiser, but it's the Hellboy. I've never seen him to this day, but I always remember this because I always want to see these movies. And I think that must have been the first year that we were together, because I was like, are you ready to go? And Alex is like, we just started a movie. And I'm like, and he didn't even tell me. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we always stay up and like watch movies or something. And I was like, we've been here for like... At this point, we've been there for like 8 hours, you know? I was like, I can't continue to stay. He was like, well, you can go home if you want and then come back. And I was like, okay. And I can remember I left because I was like, I did not want to stay there and watch this movie. I was so tired. But anyway, and I was also like, at the time I was like 36, and I don't think I probably wanted to sit on the floor, you know, and watch a movie in somebody's bedroom at that point. Like, I was tired, you know, it'd been a long day. So anyway, I missed that this year because, you know, his mom went to Texas with his brother and my sister-in-law. But I'm sure next year we'll do that again, so it's fun. There was this song on RuPaul's Drag Race last night. I don't know what it was, but it was like, dun, dun, dun. It was like when 2 of them were lip syncing. But this is not the song. But the song that I keep on hearing in my head is that song, 2 hearts that beat as one. Do you remember that? Was that by like Stacey Q or somebody? Or whoever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I counted today, I shouldn't have. We have 20 weeks until summer. 20 weeks until the first week of June. You guys, I am going to be at that pool that first week of June. I am so ready. I wonder if I won the lottery tonight. I did not win the lottery last night. Oh, I talked about that, didn't I? But I do have my Powerball tickets right here. What would you guys do if I like recorded myself winning the Powerball? Oh my God, would that not be crazy? You know I didn't win it. But I could have. You never know. Somebody's got to win it. That's always my attitude, is that like somebody's got to win it, right? So we'll look in just a second. Where's the lip gloss? I have like my coat over here. And then I have kind of a nest of all of this stuff that's going on. Two hearts that beat as one. I do think that's the other thing though, like, whenever drinking's involved, even if it's not like a lot of heavy drinking, but just like, you know, having glasses of wine and whatever over a long period of time, I do think it, like, I think people that, like, unless you don't drink, you don't really get it. Like, there's a point that it gets kind of boring, right? Like, that it's not so much fun just to kind of, like, be sitting around anymore. You know, it's like, are we going to do something? Can we move on? Can we, you know what I mean? Like, and I think, like, when I drank back in the day, even if it was a night that I wasn't, like, heavily drinking, because there were nights that I didn't, not many, but there were nights that I didn't heavily drink. But on the nights that, like, let's just say if a friend came over or whatever, not like, you know, a bedroom friend, but just a friend, and we were just, like, sitting around drinking wine or drinking beer or whatever, I just really don't remember a whole lot of times. Like, there were some where I would, like, this friend of mine that I had, that she actually got sober while I was in treatment, because she called me on New Year's Eve. And she and I had, like, the exact same sobriety amount of time, well, like a week apart, because she called me. I'm actually thinking about putting a TikTok up about my sobriety. I was thinking about that today, because there's a lot of sober TikTok things. And I think that, you know, I love to share and inspire people, like, telling my story, and, like, maybe it'll help somebody. But anyway, what was I going to say? She would come over, and, like, sometimes we would, like, really heavily drink, and other times we wouldn't. And I'm gonna pull in here to this little parking lot, and sometimes we wouldn't. But, like, I can remember sitting around for, like, extremely long periods of time with her and, like, another friend of mine, where we would drink. Like, I can remember sitting around for, like, 8 and 9 hours at a time, because, you know, when you're drinking, you can do that kind of stuff, and it's like, you don't really care, because it is what it is. It's fun, you know. Powerball. Oh, it pulls it right up on my phone. Okay. It's not pulling up the numbers. Why is it not pulling up the numbers? I don't know if it's because there's no internet right here. I've been having kind of some internet. I've been having some problems with my... Yeah, it's like... This is Powerball Jackpot winners, match 5 plus Power Play. $2 million winners, match 5, $1 million winners. And it won't show the numbers. Powerball numbers. There's got to be another website that shows them. January 9th, 2021. Oh, here they are. You go right for the Powerball number, because if you don't have it, you didn't win. Mine's 13. Oh, I only bought 5 tickets. Well, I didn't win. Okay. 14. No, I don't have any of those. 26. No, I don't have any of those. Okay, we're already a loser. 38, no. 45. Yep, got 145. You have to have something else with that, though. 45. Do I have another 45? No. 46. Junk. Just a bunch of junk. I wonder if somebody won it. $470 million Powerball. Gosh. Well, maybe one of these days. Two hearts that beat as one. I don't really, you know, like, other than just, I don't know, like what I talked about last night, I don't really, to be honest with you, know that my life would change a whole lot if I don't need to win that much, you know? Hell, $10,000 would probably set me free. My stomach is hurting today. Oh, I have my brights on. My stomach is hurting. I think it says cheese sandwiches. I got Gouda cheese. Well, first I got this just regular Gouda, and then I got aged Gouda. But I have noticed lately that if I eat a lot of cheese, like my stomach can't really handle it. Don't you think that's interesting? Oh my God, I did this review today of, okay, so this woman contacted me on my review channel. I literally get contacted all the time from people, and they're like, and it's mostly like Amazon stores. They're like, can we send you this from our Amazon store? Can we send you that from our Amazon store? It's a lot of tech stuff. It's like certain kinds of lights, like LED lights, air purifiers. And I'm like, at this point, I'm kind of like, I'll, you know, take it and review it, so then I have one just to see what it's like, right? For a long time, I just wouldn't take any of it. I feel like it's kind of weird taking it from an Amazon store. If it's like a brand, I'll take it. But if it's an Amazon store, I don't know why I feel differently about that, but I just do. So anyway, but there's this company called Pup Show, and they have these orthopedic dog beds. So they send the bed, she sends the bed to me, and she's like, if you know, like, we've seen your dogs in your videos with your dog unboxings and things like that, because I do dog unboxings on my review video. I do Bark Box and Dapper Dog Box. In fact, Bark Box just came today or yesterday. I think today. And I was going to do that with doing the bed one. So she sent me the bed, like, before Thanksgiving, and she was like, and she was really nice. And she was like, yeah, whenever, I was like, I haven't had a chance to get it up. I don't know when I'm going to get it up, blah, blah, blah. I kind of knew that people weren't going to be really interested in, I mean, people like the food reviews over there. I knew that people weren't going to be super interested in me doing a review about the dog bed. So I kept on, like, procrastinating to do it. Well, then, I was doing, like, you know, the 12 Days of Christmas over on my review channel, and then some days I just didn't even post over there. And so it just didn't really fit into what I was doing, and I said to her, I don't know when I'm gonna, she had asked me, and I said, I don't know when I'm gonna get it up, and she was like, just whenever, you know, just let me know, link it to me, right, so I can see it. And that was, like, early in December that she said that. Well, I had the bed sitting on this chair for like a week. Like the chair that's up against our bookshelf, the leather chair. I had it like sitting on there for like a week. And like our dogs like never pee inside the house. I mean, they're like really good. They're trained because they go out, you know, to potty all the time. And I had like we had the bed on the floor, and I had walked by the bed, and like one of them had like peed on the edge of the bed, and I was like, what the hell? Like I haven't even got to review this bed or anything yet, right? So it was just a little bit, but like I cleaned it up, and then like I cleaned it off of like the edge of the bed, and I almost kind of think they were like, I almost kind of feel like it was a territorial thing. Like they didn't know whose bed it was or something. Like, I don't know. But they knew right away. This is the weirdest thing. Like they knew right away what that was. They knew it was like a bed, because Boo Radley and Tucker both, like after they peed in it, like they would not go into it for like a couple days. I tried to get them in it. I like lifted them up and put them in. They wouldn't go in it, right? And then like the incident happened where one of them peed on the side of it. Then it was the weirdest thing. They started going in there like every like every day. Boo would just sit in there, and I showed like a video in my review of him like making like a hole, you know, like in the bed, like not a hole, but like him digging in the, you know, to make his, like, you know how dogs do where they go like this in the bed. He does it in the chair, in the bed, and everywhere. He's so cute. I actually got a video of him doing it tonight on the bed because we were getting ready to lay down, and he did it. You guys want to see it? It's so cute. Anyway, I'll pull in here and show you. So, well, there's a bunch of cars coming. I'll show it to you in a second. So anyway, but then, like, and that was the only incident we had with them, like, peeing anywhere near it or whatever, you know, and, they are in it all the time. If I'm working downstairs and, like, let's say if Boo is like, Boo sometimes, like, Tucker sleeps on the stairs, sometimes Boo, like, on the stairs. Tucker and Boo Radley will go, like, into his house downstairs for, like, long periods of time. So it'll just be me and Tucker, like, if I'm working on videos and whatever. I look over and Tucker is, like, laying all sorts of ways, like, in this bed. He loves it. He absolutely loves this bed. And let me just tell you what is the cutest thing. Is that, like, tonight, they were, like, in this bed together on the video and stuff. You guys, it turned out so well. I was, like, I had the bed on the chair where I was doing the video, and they climbed up and, like, well, I had to lift up Boo Radley, but they, like, got right in the bed on the video. Like, I didn't put them in there or anything. They just, like, climbed in the bed. It was so cute. They love this bed. They're, like, upset. We just leave it on the floor, and they, like, climb in there all the time. Last night when we were watching, it was either last week or last night, because I had the video of it that I put in my video. We were watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and Boo Radley just sat there and just scoured for like 10 minutes. And I, like, took a video of him because he's so darn cute. Anyway, Alex took these fantastic pictures of the dogs today. That must have been when I was talking to Tanya. I left for a second to call and talk to Tanya. And, he sent me these pictures of the dogs. Oh, that's when he was setting up the ring light before I took the pictures for him. They're so cute. I'll show them to you in a second. But anyway, so yeah, I had so much fun doing that review today. I want to do this review of Chipotle, but I don't know, like, the next time, I think I'm just going to have Alex go to Chipotle, like, he'll go to Chipotle probably for lunch one day this week. Although the other day he was like, he hadn't gone to Chipotle in like a month, he said to me. I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, I haven't gone there in a month. And, so I was like, I think maybe if he goes, like, this week, I'll have him just get me a side of the rice. Because that's all I want is this rice to try. But I don't want to have to deal with, like, going there. And, like, I could not figure it out the other day when I was doing my review. Like, I went there, and then it's like you have to digitally order it. And then I tried to just order the rice on the website, and it wouldn't let me just order the rice. It was like you had to order it, like, as a burrito bowl. I couldn't just get a side of the rice. Which was only, it said on there $2, but then, like, as I added it, it was like, okay, what's your protein? And I was like, I don't want all this. I'm, like, trying to figure it out. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to do the Starbucks one instead. But anyway. Dream, 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 when I love. Alex and I were going to watch a bunch of movies this weekend, and that never happened. Because we went out to dinner with Melissa and Jason last night, and then, oh, that's what we did last night. And then so what did we do after that? Did I go to bed after that when I came home, or did I go out and vlog? We came home and we watched RuPaul's Drag Race. And then did I lay down after that, or did Alex go to sleep? I honestly do not even remember. I would have to watch my vlog back to even find out. How do you forget stuff like that, you know? Because my life is so exciting. It's cold. It's 20 degrees outside tonight. And what's funny is, I was telling Valerie about this with these shoes that I got that have, like, that furry stuff inside. I mean, it's not fur. It's, like, fuzzy, whatever. Not even faux fur. It's just like, what do they call those sweatshirts that you can get at, like, Old Navy and stuff? Why can't I think? Did Patagonia used to call those chinchilla back in the day? I don't know why I call those chinchilla jackets, but they're not chinchilla like an animal, but do you know what I'm talking about? Fleece. They're kind of like fleece inside. But they're fuzzier than fleece. But anyway, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, my feet are kind of like, when I was like walking around the house tonight doing stuff, my feet were sweating a little bit. Oh my God, I had all of my candles burning. That candle, like my new one, that's So Grateful from the Poorhouse Company, which is linked below, by the way, smells so good. Oh my God, it smells like a winter forest. And then, but like a little cleaner than that. Like it's mixed with something. I can't explain. It's like a winter forest with like fresh linen. I don't know what it is. It smells so good. And I noticed tonight too, the other thing is it's really, really slow burning. I don't know if it's because it's a soy candle or whatever, but like it's really slow burning. Like my Bath and Body Works candles, like they go down like nobody's business. Do you guys notice that about yours? My Bath and Body Works candle is like I have the winter candle, and then I have the other one, which was like cinnamon buns or cinnamon cake or cinnamon rolls or something. Oh God, that one smells really good. And the mix of them together is fantastic, but they like burn down so quick. I mean, I could literally, like this limoncello candle that I have in the kitchen, like I bet I have, like I've been trying to make it last, but like seriously, I lit it tonight and I was like, it's dead. I need to throw it out. I have it in the round thing around I'm just trying to light candles more often in the house because I buy all these candles and candle waxes and then I never light them. And so while I'm at home, I'm trying to like light candles, you know, so that I have candles going, so it's like pretty and it smells good in the house. And it really does smell so good right now in our house. Where am I at on time? I can hardly see. 20 something, I don't know, 25 I think. 25 minutes. Oh, I was going to show you guys the pictures and I didn't stop. Well, we'll stop up here. Alex got so sad about little Pee-Pee today. We were driving back from brunch. And, you know, like memories on your phone, this is like with the iOS update, but like will come up and they'll show you like a picture, you know, from like so many years ago or whatever. Actually, one came up tonight of Pee-Pee for me. There are days that I get really, really sad about Pee-Pee and I really, really miss him. But I'm not at a point anymore where I can't look at a picture and just be like, oh, Pee-Pee, I love you. You know, like, I feel like that in my heart. Like, I feel like I miss the little guy. I mean, he was the best friend I ever had in my entire life, you know? I think I really learned a lot about grief from that dog in this last year and the allowance to move through and not feel like if you continue to have a life that you enjoy, you're betraying the people that have left, or the pets that have left, or whatever. Because I think there was a certain amount of that I felt with like my mom, you know, that if I moved, I hate the word moving on, but moving, you know, on with my life, moving through the pain and whatever, if I continued with my life and she stayed in, you know, 2008 or whatever, then that was somehow a betrayal to her. And I think in this year, really allowing myself to feel all the feelings and emotions that I felt with Pee-Pee, like I think I learned that that's not true. Like I don't have to beat myself up about that. But I still have days where it's just like I can't even like talk about the little guy without getting all choked up. And then I have, and this is very similar to any other grief that I felt, but then there are other days when I mean, there are some days that I, you know, like can't even talk about it, like I said, without like crying and getting choked up. And then there are other days where I love that bundt cake place. But then there are other days where I'm like, I can be like, oh, I miss Pee-Pee, you know, but like, and it seems like the days that I'm like really kind of inconsolable are the days that Alex is like better and like we kind of are able to take care of each other. But so let me show you first of all the picture of Pee Pee, because I screenshotted it because I was so excited. Oh, look at little Pee Pee. Can you see? Hi, little Pee Pee. Here. Aw, there's my best buddy. He was my best buddy in the whole world. Look at that little dude. God, what a dog, I'll tell you. So much personality in that little guy. See, now I am gonna get sad. Okay, but here's Boo Radley on our bed. He just finally sits down. He said, okay, I'm done. And then, where are the pictures that Alex sent me? This was the first one. Look at that, those little guys in the bed. And this is Boo Radley. Look at Tucker. Look at that little guy. Is he not so sweet? I love my dog so much. Oh, it's gonna stop. Hold on. I don't know how I knew that, but I looked up there and it said like, I had seen when I was like showing the pictures that it was at 29, and then I looked and it was like at 56. So, I haven't been able to stop it on my own in a long time. Alex was wanting me to take these pictures of him tonight, and I was like, did you guys see? This is literally like a stain on my lips because, I mean, I guess it's not bad. But anyway, I mean, I still love, it smells fantastic. I love the component. I just love the Celine. And the enchantment is the best, actually, because it's like more, it's clear. If they bring that back in that enchantment, I swear to God, I'm spending like $100 just on 10 lip glosses or whatever. 9 or 10 lip glosses, 10 or 11 lip glosses. Because I love that enchantment lip gloss. Oh my God, it was so fantastic. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's weird, I'm looking at this car over here. When I came out to my car tonight to go vlog, it was like my car was all frosted over, which is weird. Because I haven't had that. Like, I felt like that was like the first time this entire year, like not in 2021, but like this whole winter, that I've had like my car frosted over, even as cold as it's got. Like, that means like tonight is like one of the coldest nights we've had, which is crazy, isn't it? That water tastes so delicious. There's like nobody out on the road. It's 2:45. I mean, it's not like anything's open. Everything closes down between 10 and 12 now. God, somebody just threw their trash on the side of the road. Every time I say that, I always think of that one Oprah where that mother was like, they just threw her body on the side of the road like a bag of trash, like a piece of trash. It breaks my heart. It's so sad. I feel like everywhere I go, like stuff is just closing down left and right. Water so clear you can see to the bottom. $100,000 cars, everybody's got them. Can I tell you how tired of that song Tanya is? I sing it all the time. Yeah, it's just like all these stores and these strip malls are just like one after another is closing. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright. Tiny and I were talking today about that Oprah aha moment. Well, I brought it up, actually. We were talking about something else, but I think, like, I learned so much from Oprah's aha moments, but one of Oprah's aha moments that, like, was the most meaningful to me, that I literally had an aha moment from, well, there's been a couple, but one of them was when she was talking about her expectations for people. I'm somebody that's had pretty high expectations for people in my life, and I felt like much of my life, I thought they were pretty fair expectations, honestly, you know? How I thought, and I'm not talking about, this is not in the last 5 years, I'm talking about way before, you know, in my life, like family members, close friends, exes, things like that, that I thought should behave a certain way or act a certain way, and they fell short of that. Which in recovery, a resentment is that this just turned real quick. Did you see that? Like, here we were just having kind of like talking about nothing, and now we're talking about serious stuff. But anyway, so, you know, like in recovery, a resentment, I've heard the definition, and I love this definition, is an unfulfilled expectation. When someone or something doesn't match up to the way that I feel like it should have happened, right? Well, I think that we live in a world where many of us have expectations for how we thought we should be raised or brought up, or things that we should have been given, or how a significant other should have acted or treated us or behaved or whatever. And that's presumptuous, okay, in any situation. Whether that's right, and those are totally fair expectations, which I lived under that standard for a long time of, this is a completely fair expectation that I have for somebody in my life, right? Like, I would do the same for them. So why is that a weird expectation? Does that make sense? And I think, like, one of the things I've learned is that it's okay if I want to have those expectations, but people are going to fall short of that. Many people are going to fall short of that. And I'm going to fall short of other people's expectations, right? So then a resentment evolves as a result of that. So 2 things that Oprah said that literally changed my perspective. One of them was, she had this guy on there, and she was talking about when we have expectations for people, that they are just unable to give us the love that we feel like we need, or they're unable to meet us where we're at, right? Like, have you ever had a friendship or been in a relationship where it's like, they just, like, no, you feel like they should be acting a certain way. If they loved you, they would act a certain way, but they just can't. Like, and you can't figure it out, really. And he looked at her and he goes, yes. He goes, you're expecting gallon-sized love from a pint-sized person. And this was not a criticism of the person. What it's saying is, based on that person's emotional maturity, the way that they were raised, their level of affection, compassion, and love that they were raised with, they might not have the same capacity for loving that you have. So if you're expecting gallon-sized love from a person that only has pint-sized love to give, you're going to feel pretty left out most of the time. You're going to feel like, really, like you're not having your expectations met. And I can remember watching that, and I thought, oh my God, that makes so much sense. You know? That makes so much sense, because here it is, that I expect all of this. And you know, like, one of the things that was interesting to me was that there was an entire year of my sobriety that I worked on my relationship with my dad. And this was really powerful. I remember my sponsor said this to me at the time about my dad, but also about another situation that I was going through. And he was talking to me about, like, and like, this was so pivotal to me and my dad having, like, the phenomenal relationship that we have today. Like, I remember this, my sponsor said to me, what was your dad's relationship like with his dad? And I said, well, my dad was the youngest of 5, and, you know, he was 4 before he even met his dad, because he was in the military in World War II, and, you know, so he was always older. And he goes, I can remember my dad one time said something to me to the effect of, like, when I was, like, in late high school or something, or early college, he said, you know, I loved my dad. I knew my dad loved me. He said, but I didn't really know my dad on, like, a deeply intellectual level, and I don't ever want that to be the case between you and I. My dad had said that to me. And so I told him that, and he goes, so your dad didn't have the relationship with his dad that he wants to have with you? And I said, you're right. And he goes, so he has no roadmap for what that looks like. I'll never forget my sponsor saying this to me. And he goes, you know, most people in our lives don't have roadmaps for the relationships that we want to have with them. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, in our heads, we have this idea of what we want to have this relationship look like, right? But we don't have that. Because my dad, like, see, he was very, like, when I was growing up and I was in high school and stuff, my dad was like my chief enabler. He was compassionate. He was loving, whatever. But then when he got very, very angry as a result of my youth, because he didn't know what to do with all those feelings and emotions, and he felt taken for years, and he was angry and really scared, fear-driven, honestly, you know, then that turned into more like anger. And then when our relationship evolved out of that, it was really me kind of proving to my dad, like, look, Dad, like, I'm different today. You can trust me. And so I didn't want that relationship anymore, because especially, you know, like 5 years plus of being sober, I didn't want to continue to have conversations with my dad like, oh, like, so you're going to Las Vegas. Do you think you can handle going there and not drinking? And, you know, questions like that. I mean, it just, I didn't want to have to continue to have those questions. Like, I wanted to be able to have, like, I didn't want every conversation I had with my dad to be a reflection of my talking about my sobriety, because he was always afraid, right? Well, my dad didn't have a roadmap for what that relationship looked like, because he had never had that relationship with anybody else before. You know what I mean? Which is why we suggest programs like Al-Anon and Nar-Anon and things like that, and family counseling and whatever. So, man, I worked long and hard with my dad. Like, we worked really hard on, like, this is what I want. And my dad would be like, well, this is what I want. You know, it was a lot of kind of, like, emotional negotiating of, like, you know, for you to have this is what I need to have. You know, I need to know that you're safe. I need to know that I don't have to worry about you picking up. Then I don't have to ask, you know, but this is what that's going to look like for me. You know, and for me, I was like, well, this is what I want. And, but like, we seriously had to kind of like talk about what that would look like, you know? I mean, it was a lot of work. And, but you know, like in a lot of my relationships, like I think that we get into these romantic relationships, like when I always wanted to be like, have a boyfriend, always, right? So, you know, you get into these relationships when we're young, and I think that we think that like, not even love is enough, because we don't love each other when you first get together. It's like basically like physical attraction, lust, or like we're like interests or whatever, right? And then you get together and you think that it just naturally is just supposed to like, I mean, I think I look back on this and I think, God, it's so foolish that I thought that, you know, that it was just like naturally gonna just be this miracle relationship that was gonna happen, you know, that it was just gonna be so perfect, when the reality is you put two very different people in a situation together where they like each other, and that's it. Okay, fine, but that doesn't make for, I mean, that's why we very rarely hear about these relationships, you know, that are just like magic from the beginning, because there's gonna be you know, a lot of different problems. I can remember when I watched that, this is probably a bad analogy, but I don't care because I learned from it. When I watched that documentary Blackfish about SeaWorld, and they talked about how they put the orcas in the tank together, like the three of them, and then they would say that they were like a family, like a mother and two sisters or whatever. I can't remember what it was. If you've watched it, you'll know what I'm talking about. That they would say that they were like a family, but two of them were attacking one of them or something like that. Or one of them was attacking the other two or something like that. And the reason why was because they weren't from the same parts of the world. Like one was from close to Asia and the other one was from like California or something. And it was like these whales were like, their temperament wasn't the same. I don't know if you consider them whales, do you? I don't know. But these orcas were not, whatever they are, killer whales, they were not like Shamu and that stuff. They were not of the same temperament of each other. Like they weren't even, like they weren't like, we call them family, but they weren't family. And I can remember watching that and thinking, oh my God, we do that though. Like we get together as a couple and then we think we're a family just because we put a label on it, but we're really not. We're really not a family, you know? Like, just because we say that doesn't mean it's true. And, you know, relationships take a lot of work. And I think that sometimes our expectations stand in the way of that. So I love that saying that, you know, when you expect gallon-sized love from a pint-sized person, that you're gonna not get your expectations met. You're gonna be let down. And then what happens, like I said, is that you have a resentment. And a resentment is an unfulfilled expectation. When somebody didn't act or something didn't turn out the way that you thought that it should, or that you had this preconceived idea that it should, or that you think is fair in your world or whatever, right? And what I love is that in another aha moment, Oprah goes on to define forgiveness, and what she says is, and you know I've talked about this on here till, you know, I'm blue in the face, but I don't care, I'll keep on talking about it, because I think this is such a fantastic definition of forgiveness, and I never really truly understood, like, I believed in forgiveness, but I didn't truly know how to do it until I heard this. And what she said was that, you know, forgiveness is accepting that what happened. Not that it was okay, like things from the past happened, right? Not that it was okay what happened. And like that little sentence right there is so important, right? That like when we accept, I think like, we think that word acceptance means, you know, like in recovery, we talk about acceptance is the answer to all of our problems today when there's some person, place, thing, or situation, you know, that like, and if you believe in a higher power, there's like this idea in recovery that nothing in God's world happens by mistake. And I don't know about that, but it's helped me get through a lot of things. I'll say that. But I think we have this idea with acceptance that if I accept something, right, that means I'm okay with it. That's not it. Acceptance is saying, this thing happened, I'm not going to ignore it anymore. I'm not going to continue to like go over it in my head over and over and over and over and over again. It's fact, it happened, I can't change it. You know, my sponsor used to say to me all the time, you want to cry over spilt milk all the time, but you can't do anything about anything that happened even 5 seconds ago. You can't change it. It happened 5 seconds ago, it happened a second ago, it's over. It changed, you can't do it. And it's true, I lived like that constantly. And if you watch my videos, obviously this one the most, then you know I kind of like live in talking about the past a lot, you know? And I like that. I like to talk about memories, but I think sometimes, you know, maybe it, I don't know, sometimes I think it would be better if I talked about current things, maybe happening, current events, I don't know. But anyway, so, you know, she goes on to talk about accepting what happened. Accept meaning, and what that means is just saying like, okay, I understand that it happened. Like I can out loud say, this happened to me in my life. I'm not okay with the fact that it happened. I'm not okay with the people that did it to me. I'm not okay with how I was hurt, how I was broken up with, how I was fired, how I was treated by a family member, how I was raised, and I'm just coming up with examples, but you know, on and on and on. I'm not okay with how it happened. I'm not okay with what happened, but I'm not okay with it at all, but I can accept that it can happen. I can move through it now. What is going on here with this? Has it been up over there? Like I can say, like, this happened, right? Like this is a part of my life. Now, what am I going to do about it? And that is the pivotal question right there to forgiveness. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to allow it to continue to rule your life? Are you going to allow it to continue to rent space in your head for free? Are you going to allow it to just spin and spin and spin and spin and spin in your head until that's all you think about? You know, I think we often do that with like breakups. I know I have. You know, or are you going to allow yourself to move through the pain, learn from what happened, and say, I'm letting go of it? Not because it was okay, but because I refuse to be a prisoner of what happened to me. And I think that that's powerful. You know, when I heard her say that, you know, like she said on there something like, I'm not going to be held hostage to what happened to me in the past. Like that is really powerful, you know? And that's hard. And sometimes that could be like, we have to sit down and that's a long process that we do with a professional, or, you know, maybe it's not as deep of a thing. We can do that with some inventory or whatever, you know, but like, it's powerful. So yeah, that's what Tanya and I were talking about today. Don't you wish you were on our phone calls when we have these like deeply intellectual conversations about the world? We're so deep. Listen, my battery is dying. It just started flashing red. Some might call it orange, or burnt orange, but I would call it a red. I think it's actually brick red. I'm gonna say brick red, like the crayon. Do you say crown, like a crown? Like in Indiana, we say crown. Well, some people do. But like, or do you say crayon? I say crown. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. So I just wanna say, I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!